Hello and welcome to Becoming Abundant podcast. I am your host, Anna Maria Jinga, and this is our side of the internet where we get to speak about true abundance, personal authority, emotional optimization, and the pure power of alignment, all while living in the presence and guidance of God Himself. I am a holistic coach and mentor focusing on healing the emotions keeping you stuck so that the mind and body can align and live a limitless life. We all have a mission and a purpose, and I am here to help you unchain from what's been holding you back to actually live in your full potential. Think of it as transformative triggering in the best possible way. The time has come to live a life you love. Let's dive in. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to this week's episode. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, my name is Anna Maria Jinga, and I am your host for this beautiful and wonderful and magical podcast we love to call Becoming Abundant Podcast. Thank you for joining. If this is really your first time, make sure you comment in the comment section of whatever platform you're watching this. Say hi, maybe share a little bit about yourself, maybe what brought you here. I'm always excited to hear more fresh news about all of you amazing listeners. So make sure you say hi. I love, love, love getting new people and making sure that you're being seen and heard because our community is a fabulous one. I'll tell you that. So, my loves, this week we get to talk about something that's very important to me, which is the energetics around becoming abundant, the energetics of abundance itself. And if you remember in our very first episode and in our first few episodes, actually, I was talking to you guys a little bit about how I see abundance, because it's not just the financial, the business, the success in career focus. It has very little to do with that and a lot more to do with life and wellness fulfillment. Because when you are truly fulfilled in life, everything is pure abundance. When you're truly aligned in your purpose, in your presence, in your being, when you're aligned, health, wealth, mindset, emotional alignment, relationship alignment, everything that you're having in your life, when those things are aligned, you actually feel abundant. But I want to dive a little bit into the stories before we get into that abundance mindset. Because first and foremost, I hear a lot of my clients talking about, I'm working so hard, quote unquote, I'm working so hard on building my empire, having more confidence, being more aligned with my true purpose, and I'm not seeing results. Why is that, Anna? Anna, why am I not seeing my dreams come true? Funny enough, it is a simple answer. You're not going to like it because it means that you will need to take way more control over your life. The answer is you are not feeling worthy enough to have it. Let's say that one more time for those in the back. You are not feeling worthy enough to have the life of your dreams. And going deeper into that, when you have lived your life 10, 20, 30, 45,000 years in the same lack mentality that has been chipping away at your confidence, that has been making you feel small, meek, insignificant, little, building an automation of let's play small because it's safe. Let's not overdo it because it's not comfortable. Let's not step out of our lane because, let's not bother others. It's really hard to believe that you are capable of anything else. And I'm actually going to jump into a story because I've learned from you guys that you anchor the lessons better when I tell you stories about how I got here. How did I get to live a more abundant, more fulfilled, more aligned life? I've tried maybe 10 gazillion ways of working on manifesting my ideal life. First of all, when I started that, I had very little clue of what my ideal life would look like. I also didn't know how to manifest anything, how to step into the alignment of anything, because I thought from everything that I was learning that you just need to believe it. You just need to think it, and then you're going to believe it, and then everything else is going to come to you. Wrong. Meh, meh, meh. Why was I wrong? Think about it. Think about it for a moment before I tell you, and then see if your answer aligns with mine. I was wrong, and I didn't get the things that I wanted because if you think a thought without having a true anchored emotion that is perceived by your subconscious as reality, you will not see anything happen to you that you want to see happen. Why is that? Because you actually are, and this is where we're getting a little bit into the energetics of it. You're actually like a radio. Think of yourself as a radio. Nikola Tesla was saying that in order to understand the universe, you need to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Think of yourself as a radio. Your mind, your nervous system, your cerebral nervous system is your antenna. And all the electric waves that you are projecting whenever you're thinking a thought is what you're feeling with that thought. So when you are thinking of the thought of, I want to have $1 million, let's go with that. This is something I've been hearing a lot lately, even in my clients. And every time I hear it, I laugh because it's really funny because at the end of the day, you don't want the money, you want the freedom. But when you're thinking that thought, I want $1 million, the first feelings that come up most of the time are the feelings of resentment. I don't have the $1 million. I don't know how to make the $1 million. Your nervous system goes, ooh, on a haywire of believing that I want something that is so out of reach. I'm feeling so uncomfortable. It's so disgusting. Why am I doing this to myself? How do I even dare believe I could make $1 million? Who am I to have that dream? So you're thinking the thought of, I want $1 million. It's going to be so much fun to have that. It's going to be so freeing, blah, blah, blah. And then the emotions that are coming up are this whirlwind, tsunami of doubt, lack, worry, concern, resentment, hate, fear, all wrapped up in this wave of emotion that's coming up with a positive thought. So when you're having a positive thought, maybe one feeling out of 10 is matched with a positive thought because of the automation that you have in the nervous system. We'll get into that in a moment. But everything else that comes up, it's just this massive wave of emotions that are hindering you from believing that you are actually capable of making that happen. Because at the end of the day, $1 million, I was listening to a great audiobook this past week on 12 months to $1 million. And it's not as complicated as you think it is. But the thing is, if you don't believe it, you're going to sabotage yourself in the process of making it happen. Now, I'm taking this example with $1 million because a lot of people are focusing a lot on the money aspect. But behind any kind of money goal, money dream, money wanting is the need to have more control over your life. And you've associated the fact that money is a tool that can bring me more control. Yes and no. We'll get into that in a future episode because right now I want to anchor more of the energetic side of abundance. So alignment means that, kind of circling back to the example, alignment means that both your thoughts are matched with the correct emotions in order for you as the radio to transmit the frequency that you actually need in order to anchor in the feeling of having the dream already happen. But then there's lack. There's a sense of lack. I am not seeing it happen. That means that I am not worthy enough to have it. So we go into the lack mentality. It's lack versus plenty. It's, I want to have plenty, but I'm feeling very much lack. So what do we do then? This is the space of automation. We have in our nervous system for decades being told that we need to play small, we need to work hard to earn an honest pay. We need to put our work into everything we're doing and accept anything given to us. We know that people that are making money are maybe mischievous, maybe not fully aligned, maybe they're working with the devil. I heard many stories, many of those stories. And while they are anchored in the need to protect you, they're actually not protecting you. They're hindering anything that would create a space for fulfillment in your life. Because when you believe about making money that it's the eye of the devil, or money doesn't grow on trees, or any of those crap stories and sayings that we hear from such an early age from people that didn't know better, so they didn't do better, it becomes our automation. And when it becomes our automation, when we're trying to go with, let's change our thoughts so we can change our reality, you are not changing anything, honey. And I'll tell you why. The alignment is not there. The emotion is not there. The belief is not there. So when we do want to anchor in a different type of thought, we would say it over and over and over, but with the negative feelings coming up underneath the surface positive feeling, we're just building more of that lack mentality into our system. So what needs to happen then? It's something that I like to call focused intention. What is that, Anna? Focused intention. I want to know all about focused intention because I want to start making my $1 million year. Now, for those of you who are following me and watching me on Instagram, on YouTube, here's my cat. She wants to say hi to you. Say hello to Lara. So that was Lara, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. So whenever you want to learn about focused intention and how to actually align with the energetics, the true energetics of abundance, 3 things need to change. 1, you need to understand why you are feeling the feelings, the negative feelings that you are feeling. I'm actually, in my workbook, there are a few questions around the belief about the identity that you used to have versus the identity that you deserve. So that's a really good module to work on this. But the thing is, when you work on understanding the negative emotions, you also get to forgive yourself for feeling them. You also need to work on understanding that behind all of those emotions, there's also the need to see yourself, because those emotions popped up because you haven't been seen at the time that you needed to be seen by a parental figure, by a friend, by a lover, by whoever. You weren't seen. When we are not seen, we are feeling undeserving. When we are feeling undeserving, we tend to play small because we don't know more. We don't know better. The first thing you need to do is you understanding why those negative emotions are there. Number 2, when you want to shift into focused intention, shifting away from automation means that a habit needs to be broken. So what needs to happen when you want to think a positive thought, but negative emotions come up? Ask yourself, why am I not loving myself enough to actually allow myself to feel the positive emotion without anything extra. See what comes up then. Because the third part of shifting into more focused intention is aligning yourself with the belief that you deserve to have focused intention. Just think about it. Let's do a quick visualization exercise. Maybe even close your eyes if you're not driving. If you're driving, please pause and listen to this after because, it's safety first. But let's do this exercise for a moment. Close your eyes. Just take a slow, deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, as you come back to a steady rhythm of breath, with your eyes closed, think of this. What does having a focused intention of a positive mindset, of a positive outcome for your life actually feel like to you? How does positivity feel like to you when there's nothing negative getting in the way, where there's no lack popping up, when there's no story telling you, oh, who are you to deserve this, blah, 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 all of that crap? When there's nothing actually limiting you, when you are truly limitless, when God looks at you through his own eyes and sees you as his child, as a blessing to this world, when you are in that space, what does having focused intention actually feel like to you? And sit with it and feel it in your body, feel it in your bones. When you have the freedom of allowing yourself to truly feel into this emotion, to this liberating emotion of intention. When you are intentionally bringing positivity and love, self-love, aligned abundance into your life, when you're allowing yourself to fully surrender all the negative weight that has been on you, and you feel free. When you feel that freedom and you are bringing yourself from that freedom into focused intention towards the fulfillment of your destiny, of your dreams, of your goals, of your results, of your wantings, how does it feel in your body? How does it feel in your mind? How do those positive aligned emotions of liberation actually anchor into your nervous system? And when you feel that freedom, sit with it. Sit with that freedom as it is your birthright. Sit with that freedom and allow yourself to feel the blessing of focused intention, the blessing of plenty, the blessing of alignment. And ask yourself this: who am I in God's eyes? Who am I in God's eyes? Who am I in God's eyes? And see what comes up. Allow your emotions to come up. Allow your answers to come up. Allow the Holy Spirit to guide you into the space of actually surrendering to the truth that has been locked away for so many years because of a story. But you're free from that story in this moment in time. So as you are free in that story, you surrender to the alignment. You surrender to the liberation. You surrender to the truth that was left unspoken inside of you, maybe for years, maybe for decades. So who are you in God's eyes? And then how do you want to talk to yourself from now on? How do you want to speak to yourself when you are in a focused alignment, in a focused intention How do you speak to yourself? What is the tone? What is the emotion behind the speaking, behind the words that you're speaking? Sit with it and breathe into it. Allow for the answers to bubble up as they come to the surface. Because maybe this moment in time, when you're actually allowing yourself to surrender to a truth that has been dormant for far too long, maybe the first time in a long time when you actually didn't limit yourself. So when you didn't limit yourself and you are free, allow for that truth to come up. And as you feel it in your heart and know it in your mind, just take a deep, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And from this space, actually allow yourself, maybe even pause this recording and allow yourself to take note of everything that comes up. See what comes up, write it down, share it with me or not. Just allow yourself to let the truth come out of you without a limitation, without any fear or lack or doubt. It's just a clean slate. And right from there. And as you're done this exercise, know that the energetics of abundance, kind of circling back to the beginning of our talk today, the energetics of abundance lie into the frequency that you allow yourself to feel when you think of the fulfillment that you get to have within your life. When you choose the things that are aligned for you, when you choose the life that you get to have, when you choose the friendships, the relationships, the collaborations, the people and communities, the experiences that feed more into your soul, that is the energetic of abundance. When you feel free to choose better, to do better, to want better, to show up better for you, that is the energetics. That's the frequency of abundance. It's not about the money. Heck, money comes when you're feeling like this. Money will never come in true abundance if you're feeling lack, if you're feeling like you need to constantly suffocate it, every penny, obsessively holding on to it like it's your breath. Would you hold on to your breath because it's going anywhere? No, you know it's there. You know you're here because you have an abundance of breaths. You can breathe faster or slower. They're always there. You wake up, they're there. It's a constant exchange of energy. Here is my CO2, dear plants, so you can thrive and be green and fabulous. Thank you for my oxygen, because this is a constant balanced exchange. And when you have this exchange happening, it's the same in any type of frequency. So if you want a certain type of emotion, certain types of energetics, think what you are giving out and what you are getting, and try to find a balance of what you actually want to get in order to be able to give. So, my loves, let's wrap it up there for this episode. And I'll leave you with this question. Think of this and answer it for you. What does it feel like in my body when I am limitless? When there's no restriction, no contraction, no tension, when everything's flowing and in alignment. What does that feel like to you? And let me know in a lovely little email or message, either in my DMs on my socials at I Am Becoming Abundant, or as an email at info@becomingabundant.net. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited to hear how your experiences of this exercise that we've done, plus the questions that we've asked today, actually serve you. Make sure you let me know. And until next time, my loves, I wish you true abundance, beautiful alignment, and may you be completely blessed with many beautiful experiences. And remember, stay salty and bright. Until next week. Bye.